This South African National Rally Championship highlights brought to you by Ford, Volkswagen, Toyota and Corolla. Round 1 of the South African National Rally Championship in KwaZulu-Natal saw a titanic battle between privateer Ford Fiesta Cruise and the factory Volkswagen of Jan Habig, before Konrad Rautenbach snatched the victory 2 stages from the end. Round 2 saw a tight 3-way battle between the factory Toyota and Volkswagen crews before Jan Habig rolled out of the lead, handing a maiden national rally victory to Leroy Poulter. So for the 3rd round of the South African National Rally Championship, the rally fraternity gathers on the Highveld.
We're here in Woodbank for the 3rd round of the South African Rally Championships, the Hencom Autobody Rally. Can Konrad Rautenbach keep the factory teams behind him and hold on to his lead of the championship? We're going to have to see today because it is hot, it is dry, and it is very fast out there.
The event also welcomes aboard a new organising club and event sponsors.
When it became apparent that the previous organising club would not be able to organise the event, the HMC, being the Highveld Motor Club, actually stepped up to the plate. They came to the fore. They grabbed the opportunity with both hands, and what they've actually done is organised a brilliant event in a very short period of time. And we actually need to say thank you very much to them. And then on top of that, also the people that have actually helped to make this event possible. I mean, Hencom Autobody came on, they brought some money on board. Ferodo, Bolo Toyota, all these people came on board and have actually made this event happen. Now, some of our service providers also to rallying, being the medical personnel, MMC, the TV production house, a lot of people have sharpened their pencils and said, guys, we'll help you out with this, and the people that do our timing and tracking. So it's really been where everybody's come together, the rally family has stepped in, and it's actually great to see everybody working together to make this event happen.
Looking forward to this event?
No, definitely. I think we knew last event was good. The car was good throughout the event. I think, I don't know if it's too soon to think about championship and that, but, I really want another win, and hopefully we can do it again.
This is a quick rally. What's your plan?
Well, my plan is just to do exactly like we started with the Sassel rally, just sort of push and see what the pace is like, and then play it from there. And that's really the plan.
Very fast stages. What can we expect from you?
Yeah, I think on the Sassel we were running 3rd. We were within striking distance the whole rally, and we're hoping to be at that same pace. We'll push hard. If there's a gap, we'll try and go for it.
First on the road, it might be advantage with all the dust on the stages.
Yeah, I don't know. There's quite a wind blowing, and it's never great being first on the road. You've got to find the lines and see if there's a problem or whatever, because we don't do recce, so it's a bit difficult. But anyway, that's we're leading a championship, so I think that's a disadvantage. But anyway, that's we just got to make the most of it and try our best.
So can they do it again? It's Konrad Rautenbach, the G Fuel Ford Fiesta Championship leader, who leads the field on the road for day 1. Gemmell on the podium last time around, 2nd in the Sassel Rally in the Castrol Toyota Auris, and Enzo Keen, reigning champion in the BP Volkswagen Polo, on the way to stage 1. Stage 1 just outside Woodbank, 4.76 kilometers of gravel, Barlow Toyota 1, and welcome Etienne Lawrence, former rally winner, as we get the action underway with Rautenbach.
Straight out the blocks. There's no time to waste on rallies now. They're separated by seconds, and he's going all out, flat out on stage 1.
So that's the approach then, Etienne. You don't even just take it easy from the start.
There's no such thing anymore. Seconds separate them after 200 kilometers of absolute flat out racing.
100, late open max right, 50 turn line 5 right.
And Rautenbach would set the benchmark time, being first on the road, of 4 minutes 5.7 seconds. That's the time to beat. Some spectators there, and they're enjoying the action. Johnny Gemmell now, and he's got that time to beat.
And probably on these stages what happens is the stage turns back on itself, and you end up finding your own dust, as we'll probably see in the next few seconds. Very, very tight, graded surface, and there you see the problem. As soon as it's clear, then the road's open.
And he would lose about 5 seconds on that stage, probably due to that. Etienne, what do you make of the condition of the road?
Well, being a freshly graded road, it deteriorates as the cars go over, and by the 3rd car, it's an absolute nightmare.
Arkan Fecken, 3rd on the road, and he needs to get some good results on this event. He's not in the championship where he would like to be.
As I said before, the surface is very, very loose now and starting to break up badly, and also the berms are quite high.
And he would go 7 seconds slower than Rautenbach at that point. This is Enzo Keen, reigning champion, And he certainly also would like to set some very competitive times. But the Volkswagens on this event have brought some modifications to their cars.
Yes, they've got wider wheel track at the back and a spool diff, and obviously that causes new setups and things like that. And the guys are battling a little bit.
Still trying to get used to it. So Enzo Keen would go 5 seconds slower than the benchmark time. Now on board with Charles Wilkin in the Basil Reed Biz-Up Ford Fiesta.
100, turn off left 6, opens to 3, into round heat left 9, go now, opens, round heat here left 9, C, 100 left 7, right again, C.
11th and 6th so far in the first 2 rounds of the championship. Looking for better results too.
Charles Wilkin determined to get a very good result on this event, as he had bad luck on the first 2.
And he would go just 3 seconds or so slower than the benchmark time set by Conrad Rotenbach. John Williams now in the first of the Sasol Ford Fiestas. And he's also just sort of still finding his feet after a couple of years away from the rallying scene.
He's consistently getting in faster now. He hasn't been in the S2000 for a few years, as you said.
And Jan Habig, after that bad crash on the Sasol rally, and the team certainly did a great job putting the car together there, and only going 2 seconds slower than Conrad Rotenbach on this stage.
Driving as spectacular as ever.
Mark Renier in the second of the Sasol Ford Fiestas. Also some mixed results so far, very competitive, but some very bad luck so far this season, which he would like to turn around.
Right 8, into left 8, left 8, into left 570, left 570, loose hairpin left 9, and hairpin right 8 opens. Hairpin right 8 opens. Hairpin left 9.
And
Right
Grenier
8
gets
opens.
lost in the dust. You see what happens when you can't see. Get disorientated.
JP Damso now, the man who's lying second in the championship after the first 2 rounds. Very consistent so far.
Driving very, very well with a lot more confidence. And the new shock absorbers seem to be working well.
He would go 4 seconds slower than Conrad Rotenbach. That's still the time to beat as we go to Geniel de Villiers now, who's finding his feet in South African rally.
He seems to be getting the hanging of rallying and also ups his pace every stage and every event. Rallying being a far more aggressive sport than the Dakar or off-road.
Nicholas Ryan and Jeff Tyra in their privateer Volkswagen Polo. As we see, Rotenbach takes stage 1 and therefore the rally lead as well by 1.5 seconds from Habig, Wilkin in third. Stage 2 now, just next to the Duva power station. That's where it gets its name from as well. Outside Woodbank, 16.7 kilometers of gravel action ahead of us. And once again, of course, Rotenbach will be first on the road. He leads by 1.5 seconds at this point.
Yeah, as he's sweeping the road, he will obviously have a very loose surface, and that will surely, affect his stage times today.
Plus, 30 down. 30 down, slow left into, turn 1 right minus. Slow left into, turn. And 5 right plus over bump. And bump and late 3 right. Tightens, narrow exit.
And the time set by Rotenbach on that stage, 9 minutes 54.5 seconds, the benchmark time. Johnny Gemmell at the moment in 7th position overall. And he's got quite a lot of time to make up on this stage.
He seems to be carrying a lot of speed through this corner sideways, giving it completely.
Easy right plus max left. 160. Max dip bump. 120.
This seems to be a max dip bump, which they're just not even tapping off. Carrying a lot of speed in the corner. And oh my goodness, he hit the back on the outside. He was very, very lucky not to roll there.
And also not to end up in that canal on the right-hand side. That's certainly a scary situation.
Some more spectators there.
And Arken Fecken currently in 11th position overall. Strange to see him out of the top 10 after the first stage. We go on board with a pair. Now let's just go through this, Etienne. How challenging is this, these long, fast stages?
Well, they are, because you don't actually know how fast to hit those jumps and things. You can hit them flat out, and as some people are braking, as you can see now, and others are not. So it's a question of how committed you are or brave.
Leroy Poulter going third fastest at that point now. Charles Wilkin third overall at this point. 2.5 seconds behind the rally leader. And in fact, he would go 2 seconds quicker than Rotenbach on the stage. That's John Williams, 9th overall at this point. and he's also flying so far.
And it's interesting to see that he was breaking for that instruction where Hergen didn't.
Absolutely flying is Jan Habig. He knows no other style than foot in the hook.
Absolutely. All or nothing, Jannie Habig.
Second overall after the first stage by that margin of 1.5 seconds. He needs to close that down and stamp his authority on this event as early as possible. Now Mark Renier is in 10th position overall, and also some work ahead for him, but he is not holding back at all.
Driving with a lot of gusto, this man is. Suspension working, can you see that over the jump?
On board we go with JP Damso, 4th overall at the moment.
See some of the long straights here. Unfortunately, the beautiful sections are joined by that.
So Wilken takes that stage by 1.3 seconds from Poulter, and that means that Rottenbach now leads Wilken by 0.7 of a second with Habig in third. Flying the Hencom Autobody flag in this rally, stalwart Rocky Reinecker in his Class A7 Volkswagen Polo.
Also the sponsor of this event.
Indeed he is. So just before the start of stage 3, let's catch up a little bit.
We knew it was going to be difficult. It's sandy stages, but you still got to clean the road, and without wreck it makes it really difficult. You don't know what the surface is like, how bad the jumps are, all that sort of stuff. So where if the guys behind, they can see my brake marks or whatever like that, and the proper lines and that. So, but yeah, we're trying our best, so we just got to keep at it.
We started off quite nicely in the first one there, that 5 kilometer, not bad, and then we just done a 17k. Pretty fast there, but we're not too far off. We're pretty close. We're in a bunch there, about 2 or 3 seconds between us, but there's another long one now, 20 k's. We'll see what we can do.
Stage 3 now, through to 1 south of Woodbank, and it's over 20.38 kilometers of gravel.
30 jump okay. 30 jump okay, and 140. 140, King Cright over jump. Not okay, not okay. King Cright over jump.
That left front really hotting up as Rottenbach leads Wilken by only 0.7 of a second at this point.
Yeah, those jumps are very, very extreme. Triple cautions, you have to be very, very careful there.
Flat out around that right-hander goes Johnny Gemmell at the moment in 8th position overall, 9.9 seconds off the pace.
So I'm seeing his car doing exactly the same.
He knows this area very well, of course, having done many regional rally in this area.
Yes, he has. So he should drive with a lot more confidence than others.
Second now in 7th position overall in the BP Volkswagen Polo, only 1/10 of a second ahead of Johnny Gemmell.
And he's attacking that thing and doing a 5-car jump. It's amazing.
This is amazing footage as well. You can get the real feel for the speed of these cars on the onboard camera on top of the roof. So Fecken goes 2 seconds slower than the benchmark time at this point. Leroy Poulter, 5th overall, 6.9 seconds off the pace.
Also pushing the limits over that jump. He seems to be the find of the season.
Next jump 130. Triple caution. Triple caution. Right through. Triple caution jump. 120. Narrow hairpin left 9. Narrow hair left -10.
Trying to make up that margin of 7/10 of a second behind rally leader Rottenbach. I'm sure the spectators are enjoying the action. Williams now, 6th position overall. As we go to Jan Habig, he's currently in 3rd place.
Very hard on the brakes there for that jump. Obviously a little bit more cautious after the Sassel roll.
And he sets the 3rd fastest time in the stage so far, with Wilken setting the benchmark time. Fournier now in 4th position overall, 6.8 seconds off the pace.
Treating that jump with a little bit of respect.
Now, how as a driver do you approach or judge the speed that you could take these jumps at?
It's actually very difficult because you see it on a DVD, but you're actually not sure what your car is going to do. Is it sharp on the edge? Is it sharp on the front edge? And you don't know. It's actually a bit of a gamble, but you know, you've got a reasonable idea.
Little mistake there by JP Damso, costing some time. This is Genil de Villiers, Dakar winner, of course, currently in 10th position overall.
Yes, and a bad nosedive there on that first jump. Obviously, they are misjudging it and learning the lesson on the first one.
Visser du Plessis and Gerard Snyman in the first of the Pertec Peugeot 207s, currently in 17th overall.
Yeah, it's good to see the Peugeots are coming together nicely, but development on our South African conditions are always in progress.
Chase Atwell and Miles Skinner in their Toyota Aura, 16th overall, about 6 seconds ahead of the Peugeot.